the first thing I want to say is thank you. Thanks for being in business, making your payroll, hiring people, and serving your customers. Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats take you for granted, but I'll guarantee you that House Republicans won't.
At this time, we're struggling in Washington, D.C., I believe, with an aggressive political agenda which is putting not only employers in jeopardy, but also employment in jeopardy all across this country. What we're utilizing this employer nation for is an opportunity to bring together voices across the country to speak very clearly with Republican leadership, not only about thoughts and ideas about how we can make this nation stronger, but also to make sure that we have a two-way interaction to talk and receive feedback from you.
Hey, my name is Karen McClure, and 2 years ago we mortgaged everything we had and bought the company where my husband had basically worked at for the past 20 years. Our people need their jobs quite desperately, but we can't afford health insurance. And our people would much rather have a job with no health insurance than no job at all. How are we considered in that? We had gross sales last year of about $600,000, but we only have about 8 full-time employees.
When it comes to this issue of health care, under their bill as it stands right now, any employer with over a $500,000 payroll gets slapped with an 8% tax on payroll if you don't provide health insurance.
I'm in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Basically, to get 8 people on a group insurance, I will pay at a minimum $750 to $800 a month per employee. And that's for a basic policy. If I want to get it better, I'm going to be more like $1,100. Well, I don't have that kind of money. My thought was, I'll go off and I'll fund each of my employees through payroll to buy individual policies on their own side. Sounded like a good idea to me until I found out that they have to claim me reimbursing them for their individual policy premiums winds up showing up in their W-2. They have to claim it as income.
Right.
Well, that's stupid. This is a low-hanging apple that I think could be solved simply as a start.
It's our obligation to tell the American people how we would do it better. And we offered what we think are better solutions on the stimulus bill. We believe that we had a better solution on the budget, a much better solution when it came to cap and trade. We think we've got better solutions on health care. Now, there's no reason why big companies and unions can deduct the cost of health insurance, while an individual or a sole proprietorship or a partnership can't. And so if your employee have the deduction, or you have the deduction, whether you provide it or the employee buys it on their own, they ought to be treated the same. And it's part of the Republican plan, Republican solution on health care.
For the first time in my life, I feel as if I'm an enemy of the state. Doing business in all these states between the Internal Revenue Service and state governments, it's out there like to destroy you as a businessman. And for the first time, I've been a workaholic my entire life. I've been de-incentivized by the system, and I've spoken to other businessmen who are in different industries who feel similarly, as if we've become the enemy. The government doesn't have enough money. They haven't been careful in the way they spend their money in their states. Their budgets are short. So let's go after the small businessman. And the effect of that has been that, unfortunately, I've had to cut benefits to employees, things that I've given to employees for decades I can no longer afford to give. Now, who exactly is the government helping in this case? I understand that the employee, especially under Obama, is the bad guy, and the employee is the wonderful guy. But it's the employee who is getting hurt at the end of the day because the government is being so harsh to the employer. As it is, as a small businessman, which is, we all know, is the backbone of America. We employ 95% of all employees. If we don't work, the country doesn't work.
Ladies and gentlemen, this was just a start. Today was the opening for Employer Nation. We had over 100 people for the vast majority of this call, and we need to do more of these calls. We need to do these calls to make sure you can talk to not only John Boehner, Pete Sessions, Paul Ryan, Jeb Hensarling, but a lot of Republican members that have ideas. I'm very interested in making sure that you, if you'll visit our website, you can send us email directly, a message directly related to this. I want to thank you for being on the call. Employer Nation needs to grow and become more powerful, and I think we can do that.